Two trucks having sex. Two trucks having sex. My muscles involuntarily flex. Two trucks having sex. Two trucks having sex. My muscles involuntarily flex. Two pickup trucks making love, American made.
Listen up, Autobots and Decepticons. You're listening to Prime Cuts, a nonlinear history of the Transformers franchise on television. I'm one of your hosts, Mara.
And I'm your other host, Audrey.
And we have gathered in the space between worlds a meeting of the minds, a sojourn across the astral plane to put our brains together and attempt to figure out what the fuck happens at the end of War for Cybertron Earthrise.
Well, what I appreciate about these episodes is that they are incomprehensible. But Mara and I actually had issues with different episodes. I found the first one much more confusing to watch.
Yeah, whereas I thought the finale episode was maybe one of the least competent and comprehensible ends to a show I've ever seen.
So here's the thing. I think... So I understand your perspective of it coming from the idea that it's the end of a show.
I know there's a third. I know there's a third one of these.
I know.
They made sure. Hey, they were like, look, I know this one's a real stinker, but hey, Dinobot's here. Aren't you excited?
Hey, would you like to try again? Yeah. So like that's the thing is that like I don't even think of it as like a finale. I'm just like, okay, and now we go to the next two episodes. But so from that perspective, I find the second one much less confusing. However, if you do think of it as the finale to a series, which it is technically, woo, that's rough. That's rough.
But before we get to the world's worst ambushes of all time and Optimus Prime punching Megatron to the beautiful soundtrack of Gunshot.wav 47 times in a row. We have to talk about episode 5 and the cold open that just completely sideswipes everybody upon beginning this episode.
And also never is relevant again.
No!
That's the most important thing. I would not care if this, like, the cold open was referenced at any point in these episodes, right?
It's only here to explain why Lynx is in the dead universe.
Yeah. Which, hey, by the way, Lynx is here. We'll get to him, but so Lynx is here.
We open up on sometime in the past, no time given. Alpha Trion's hanging out. He's got a staff.
They talk about how long Lynx has been in the dead universe.
That's true. But yeah, Lynx, for those who perhaps are unfamiliar with this funny fella.
Because he is something of a deep cut, basically, especially if you haven't watched G1.
Lynx is a gigantic space dragon griffin who turns into a space shuttle. He's one of the most deranged character designs ever spat out for this franchise. Both,
like, physically and characterologically.
Yeah.
Because he, to be clear, I mean, I laughed out loud when I saw Lynx because he is one of the funniest characters you could possibly pull for, like, a late-stage character cameo. But, like, the thing about Lynx, and the reason why he's actually not a terrible choice for this, is because even in all the other source material, he is the guy who sucks.
Yeah, his whole thing is that he is extremely overconfident. He's very arrogant. He's always talking himself up. And so, of course, he
speaks like a reply guy on Twitter.
Yeah.
Like, he's like, well, unfortunately, I've already drawn you as the pathetic, low muscle man, and myself as the large muscled man, so I've won this argument.
Yeah, so he's usually, he's around a lot of season 3 of G1. He's like a funny guy. I like Lynx.
I like Skylynx as a character, not as a person. He is like a very irritating character.
Yeah, he's like one of those
but on
guys
purpose.
Yeah, he's like funny. He's like irritating on purpose. He's really funny. I also think he's just funny to have around. This is a completely off the wall, bug nut crazy usage of him.
Again, it is such a like out of left field character to show up at this point in these circumstances that I did burst out laughing legitimately.
So we see Skylynx shows like, Alpha Trion, I'm worthy of the Matrix, and Alpha Trion says, "Shut up, bitch, Phantom Zone," and he banishes Skylynx to the Dead Universe, which is a thing.
Which is like fucked up. First of all, a thing he can apparently do. Second of all, extremely fucked up from someone who's supposed to be like a sage mentor hero.
Yeah, it would be even more fucked up if it was the Dead Universe as it was in like IDW, where it was literally like a malevolent evil dimension that killed anything that touched it.
Yeah, it's not that.
It's just the Phantom. It's literally just the Phantom Zone. Like, yeah. It even looks like the Phantom Zone. It's got like weird things. But yeah, Alpha Trion, benevolent.
Yo, Skylynx, he was just 14 when his parents built a very strange machine.
It's Alpha Trion, benevolent philosopher, you know, mentor of Magnus and Megatron and Optimus. It turns out if someone is like too much of an asshole, we'll literally just lock them in like a hell in purgatory forever.
Based on this interaction, just sort of like questions their policies at all.
There's nothing that suggests to me like Galvatron's like, "You're a danger to Cybertron." Skylynx is like, "What? What are you talking about?"
Yeah, there is no evidence that like what Skylynx is suggesting is like, never mind like egregious. Like there's no evidence that he's even like incorrect.
Yeah, like it just seems like Alpha Trion hates being challenged on things.
Yeah, and so he, you know, assigns himself judge, jury, and executioner and goes 1,000 years Dead Universe dungeon, no breaks.
So we cut to the present, and Prime is like, "Oh fuck my head, where are we? How much did I drink last night?"
I hope I didn't fuck up everything forever again.
And then it cuts outside to the Nemesis, where Starscream's on the bridge looking at the gigantic orange hole in the universe, and he goes, "What the fuck is that? Bruh, what did I do?" And then, okay, so one of the problems that starts happening
how Megatron can get here?
So, one of the Nemesis's special abilities in the show is that people can just show up there when it's narratively convenient. So it happens in the next one too. Megatron just shows up.
It's the Nemesis's outlier ability.
Just like, if you need to be there, you could be there. And Megatron and Starscream shows up, and then they do. Because of Megatron.
Wait, hold on. Let's start. We have to go back. So to be clear, not only has Megatron survived being blown to bits.
Yeah.
Somehow, but he has made it safely back to this ship. There's no explanation offered for how either of these things happen.
No, the last time we saw him, he was on the station. There was no warning that Starscream was about to blow it up.
Yeah, he was on the station, and then Starscream blew it up, and he just got better, and then made it back to the Nemesis!
And then they do... It's mostly just because of Megatron's, like, voice acting, but it really does feel like they're going through the motions of your classic G1 Starscream Megatron scene.
I felt really bad for Starscream's voice actor in this, because
I
actually thought, you can tell he is doing the best anyone could be expected to do.
Putting his whole pussy into this Starscream performance, as one should.
Yeah, and like it's just like it's so weak, but like. To be fair, again, like, Megatron's like, "Get off my bridge, you coward." It's like, listen, this Starscream is a lot of things, but he actually hasn't been that cowardly.
No.
Like, he stood up to you in the last episode and was like, "What have you done?" And now you shot him down a hole.
Like
And that's
it's not even funny like G1 like Starscream Megatron. There's
because
no throwing trash at him and going, "You disgust me." He's literally just
she's
going
not
like
so hot.
he's literally just like, "Starscream, fuck you, get off my bridge." And then he punches him. It's like, "Wow. I can really feel the like anger in your voice, pal."
And it's like, what? This feels kind of uncomfortable, actually. I don't want to watch this.
It's like, "Wow, man. You good?"
It's like, I don't want to watch this.
And then, so, that's the end of that. It really doesn't come up again. Like, I still don't really know
It is crazy
why...
that
I don't really know why Starscream did that still.
It is straight up some, like, somehow Palpatine return type shit.
Yeah, like, there's no real... Like, once again, it really just feels like he did that because it was time for Starscream to do a Starscream thing. Like, cause, like, he doesn't have any, like, thing to say or do in the rest of these episodes. Anyway, Bumblebee looks out the window.
That's not true. He does actually mobilize everyone to, like, get weapons online.
He gets put in a thigh lock by RC.
Like, this is the thing about him, is that he's, like, actually a competent character in this. It's just an incompetent show. Like, that's the fucked up thing.
Yeah, that's why it feels out of place when he does Starscream things, so he doesn't feel like your average G1 Starscream. Like, I don't know. It just doesn't feel like he'd randomly decide to blow everyone up because he got mad. Like, G1 Starscream, he would definitely do that shit.
Yeah, or it feels like he would do that, but if he found out Megatron was alive, like, their interaction would be very different.
Yeah, it's all... Anyway, Bumblebee looks out the windshield and go, "Hey, Optimus, what the fuck is that?" Because Skylynx is literally just T-posing in the void.
Hey guys, it's me, Skylynx, favorite Skylynx.
So we learn about the Dead Universe. Number one, you can just talk telepathically in it. And Optimus goes,
no, that's actually just a thing that Skylynx can do.
Optimus goes, "Oh my god, that's Skylynx. We must be in the Dead Universe." And so that means that he knew Alpha Trion just put people he didn't like in purgatory.
This is like a public trial kind of thing.
Dog,
oh my god. So I just got called for jury duty. I have to, like, report in 2 weeks.
Uh-huh.
What if we get to send someone to the Dead Universe?
Alright, bring out the staff of Solus Prime.
Hey,
can
I vote to sentence someone to the Dead Universe? Because this is like that's just the crazy thing about it, is that, like, Optimus is like, "Oh yeah, when did Alpha Trion do that? Like, he banished Skylynx, like, what, 3,000 years ago? I don't know. It was a whole thing."
Once again, just, like, completely deranged usage of characters and story roles. Like, just like the Scorponok thing where it's like, why are you making Scorponok this weird, like, Quintessons, I don't even know, guy?
I will say this feels less bad than Scorponok did, just because there's, like, not a shadow of who Scorponok
Scorponok
is as a character in that.
Scorponok was just somebody else. This is at least recognizably Skylynx, but it's very odd to cast Skylynx in the, like, repentant sage role.
Yeah, he's like, "I beefed it, but you don't have to." Anyway.
Optimus, I was sent here for my arrogance, and I've spent 3,000 years reflecting on myself, but now I will be your spiritual guide.
But only for the next 15 minutes.
So, this episode is mostly just Optimus and Megatron having, like, weird conversations with people who show up.
Yeah.
So,
Megatron gets his own spirit guide, and it's Galvatron.
So Galvatron literally just pops into existence on the bridge of the Nemesis and goes, "What up, bitch? I'm here to help you kill Optimus Prime."
It really feels just like giving up the... Here's the thing. So I watched this while I was working, which is, you know, about as much attention as I ever give it. But there are so many things like this. I was like, did I just miss something big? And the answer was no. The answer was no. This is not a story. This is a sequence of things happening, and those are two different things. And one of them is good, and this one is not that one, unfortunately.
He does like a reference to the movie. He does like the pose, and then he just shows up and he's like, "Hey man, I'm here to help you. Hey, remember when this happened in the Marvel comics where I like came back from the future? That's crazy." And Megatron's like, "I don't understand what's happening. I'm gonna kill you now."
And Galvatron goes, "Good. Trust no one, not even yourself." I mean, what?
It's really funny to see, everyone else in the show is all beat up and scorched and covered in battle damage, and Galvatron is just like perfectly smooth.
Just like a shark.
That's right.
He's also the most overdramatic bitch on God's green earth. One of my favorite lines from him, I will say, is, "I am from a place of only agony."
Yeah.
Megatron's like, "What's your deal, dude? Why are you on my ship?" And Galvatron's like, "I'm from a place of only agony." It's just really funny.
Cool, man. Do you want to say normal shit?
No.
Yeah. So Galvatron basically says, "Hey, man, I'm here to make sure you kill Optimus Prime and get the Matrix. I'm not going to tell you why, but trust me, it's really important. Don't ask about my boss or whether or not he knows I'm here right now. Don't worry about that. It's really important.
Just trust me."
It's really important that you kill Optimus and get the Matrix. And he's basically helping Megatron form psychic weaponry against his opponents. He's like, "Actually, you can't use normal guns in the Dead Universe because fuck you. You actually have to
why not?
You have to harness your hatred and shoot a big laser at them."
Yeah, you've played Psychonauts, right?
Meanwhile, Skylynx is basically telling Optimus, "Hey man, listen, you fucked up big time. But you can't think about that right now. You can't think about how you killed Cybertron and probably left your wife to die alone." And,
which you did, by the way. We find that out the next episode.
And you just have to focus on. You have to live in the moment, man. You gotta use the Matrix to blow a hole in the Dead Universe so we can get out of here. And can I just say, there's a point in this where Skylynx is talking about his self-reflective journey, and I hate this fucking Optimus so much. Because he's, Skylynx is like, "Yeah, I know I was arrogant, but actually I'm even more powerful in here." And Optimus just goes, "What if Galvatron would be disgusted to hear that this time has taught you nothing?" And then Skylynx finishes the sentence with, "It taught me, that I had to look in myself and find the strength within. So how about you shut up and stop fucking judging me, bro?"
Never.
Why is he like this? He's such a fucking shithead.
He's truly despicable.
And then Skylynx also says "Oh, by the way, if you lose your way, you'll become the Antichrist." And we see a glimpse of Nemesis Prime.
I'm sure that is a special tool that will come in handy later. God, I hope not. We only have 6 episodes left of this, so I'm praying.
Well, I have bad news about who shows up in Kingdom.
Cool. Well,
So
stay silly.
It's really hard to summarize this episode because it's all baffling and weird and confusing.
Again, this wasn't a story. This was a series of things happening.
And then
they're two different things.
Optimus uses the Matrix to blow open a hole in the Dead Universe, and Galvatron's like, "Oh fuck, they're getting away. You have to harness your hate." And I was like, "Oh my god, they're gonna bring the hate plague into this because he's gathering energy, and it looks like the hate plague." But actually, it's just a big laser, and he just does Kaioken times 10. Megatron just does Kaioken and shoots a big laser at the Ark. But Skylynx intercepts it, and he goes, "Optimus, you have to go," and then spends way too long dying.
I will say, one of the funny things that keeps happening in these episodes is being people being like, "What are you going to do about it?" And then what they do about it is just shoot a big laser at a starship.
Yep.
It happens many times in these 2 episodes. It's pretty good.
Yeah, so... And there's also one more thing, another insane thing. So, after the failure to blow up the Ark, Unicron busts through and goes, "Hey, what the fuck are you doing?" Hey, Galvatron, what the fuck are you doing out there, you little bitch?
Yeah.
Get back here. Daddy Unicron's mad and he's going to give you such a spanking. But then before he gets dragged off, Galvatron goes, wait a minute. Megatron, check this out. And he shows him a gif of the Beast Wars golden disc before he vanishes. And he just, use this. And he leaves. And Megatron just goes, what?
Yeah, Galvatron gets, like, I don't even, like, know what I want to say slurped, but it's, like...
He does get slurped.
Like, I'm trying to think of a verb for, like, what happens here, but it's just, like... And, like, Megatron just watches it wordlessly. Like, that's the funniest thing about it, is that, like, Galvatron is, like, screaming in pain and goes, like, Unicron, no, stop, Unicron! And is, like, fighting Unicron, who is, like, basically sucking him into the Matrix.
Slurp.
Yeah,
he's like sucking him back through the time stream.
Yeah, but like kind of like crushing him like the garbage crusher in Star Wars, like in between the time stream. And as he's touching like the sides of the time stream, which is all this like Matrix grid or whatever, he goes, "Here, take this golden disc. It's a special tool that'll come in handy later." And Megatron says nothing.
He just looks at it.
Happening, and he says I cannot emphasize enough, not a single word.
By the way, they never audibly say Galvatron's name, nor directly say that he's Megatron from the future.
But he is Galvatron and he is Megatron from the future, very clearly.
Yeah. It's just really
funny. Which is
it's
fine.
No, look, this is this is the first sensible usage of, like, a big legacy character that they've done so far. It's like, this is absolutely some shit Galvatron would do.
Yeah.
It's just really funny that he just randomly shows up and Megatron has no opinion on the Unicron stuff, if he can even... I assume he can see it. I assume he can see the JPEG of Unicron that shows up.
I would not assume that.
I guess not, but he does look at the golden disc
he does see Galvatron get slurped.
Yeah, then he looks at the golden disc and has no
thoughts about it.
To it.
No reaction.
I guess he hasn't seen Beast Wars. He doesn't know what it is.
Anyway, episode 6.
But wait, you forgot the reveal. Oh my god. And it's Earth. They're on Earth.
Oh,
it's rising.
Technically, I guess it is.
Episode 6, the finale. This is the big, season finale of Earthrise. This is where all of our storylines get finished up.
Get resolved, yeah.
So apparently...
That was the word you were looking for, right? Resolved?
Yeah. Resolved in the same way, when back in the day, when, like, nobody had anything to do, so they just, like, crashed trains together for fun. So I feel like this is
actual trains?
Yes.
No, I don't know that.
This might be a specific Texas thing, because there's a thing called the Crash It Crush, where they basically crashed 2 trains together as, like, a stunt thing. But they exploded, and I think a few people died. So
sorry,
that was just shit that happened in the 1800s. Like, well, we haven't invented video games yet.
That's true. That's the West.
That's true. That's just the shit.
That's how the West was won.
Anyway, that's how I felt like I was watching the Crash It Crush, watching this fucking disaster of a finale.
It certainly is like watching a crash of some sort, isn't it?
So the Teletrain 1 has downloaded 5,000 terashits of mysterious data, I guess. This is never really expanded upon or circled back around to. It just has.
These 2 episodes really do feel like they gave up on the writing aspect. Like, entirely. Entirely.
Oh, man, it is really...
They're like, I feel like there was like a writer's room where someone was like, how does this happen? And the response was, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, just make it happen.
I wish if they had done that they'd gone more hog wild with it. Because at least they could have made it fun, right?
So, the Ark and the Nemesis are just kind of free floating around Earth, which is where the Allspark is, of course.
When we get to my favorite character, Cog.
But yeah, Cog is back. Boy, there's a lot. There's a frankly confusing amount of Cog in this episode. I don't really understand why.
Like, suddenly Cog is the main character again for this episode, which is, like, crazy for a number of reasons, including the fact that he dies as about magnanimously as you would expect Cog to die.
I am utterly baffled by Cog's entire existence. We'll get there, but first they're kind of just floating in the Earth's gravity. Everyone's like, well, hey, at least the Nemesis can't move either. And then Megatron turns on the tractor beam and just kind of mashes the two ships together, which I thought was a really funny maneuver. It's like, oh, we can't turn on the engines, but I can just sort of, like, yoink myself over to the Ark. Now,
Nice that he's able to do that, I guess.
Now, of course, everyone knows, that we've done the scene a million times where it's like the Nemesis boards the Ark. There's a big fight, right? It's always like a big chaotic mess. It's always a fun time, and the ships crash into Earth, right? There's so many versions of this scene. Well, what happens in this one is the Decepticons walk onto the Ark and go, hey, where is everybody? I wonder if there's a trap. And then all of the Autobots jump out and literally just tackle them and beat them very easily. Like, I'm not kidding when I say RC has Starscream in, like, a chokehold. Like,
Yes.
They literally just have them in submission holds.
Yes.
I watched this and I was like, this is the most inept sequence I've seen from this show yet. Just utterly sauceless, tensionless. Everyone just gets treated like a total fucking rube. And then
like,
Optimus and Megatron go and slap each other around in a hallway.
It's like the worst part of it is that Starscream's like, let me go. It's not fair. And Alita's like, RC's like, no.
Once again, that is a G1 Starscream thing. This Starscream is not that pathetic wet idiot.
Right, yeah. He's like, it's like,
Starscream would not be attacked by a snake.
Like, this is the Starscream who 3 episodes ago captured the entire Autobot team, basically single-handedly.
Like, he's
What
not the same
fuck?
Starscream who gets his foot jammed in Autobot City and shoots it and goes, ow, my foot.
Oh, what we could have had in Bumblebee 2018.
He's not that guy. Anyway, all of the Decepticons are extremely easily subdued, including Megatron. Okay, so they're in this hallway, right? And they're doing like, you can't run from me, Prime. And so then Megatron has Optimus at gunpoint. He's like, I've waited years for this. And okay, we've talked about this show's struggles with action choreography. What looks like happens here is
I can't wait to hear you try to describe this.
He has Optimus against the wall. His fusion cannon is pointed at his head, and then it appears that he gets hit from behind. We pull back. Optimus.
Can we talk about Cog here too as well?
In a moment, we have to get to Optimus's absolutely fucking aura-killing speech after he gets the upper hand on Megatron by somehow teleporting behind him and then back in front of him to donkey kick him in the chest. And I was like, I literally had to run it back to see, like, wait, what happened? And I literally don't know what happened. I truly do not know how Optimus gets out of this, but regardless, he now has Megatron at gunpoint. And this is the return of Optimus Prime. This is the return of fucking Bat Bale Optimus. And he goes...
He needs it for Cog, though.
He goes, I've seen the future, and you will do terrible things, and I have to kill you to prevent that, but I need you to forgive me. I was like, what? What are you talking about?
It's so deranged. It's truly so deranged.
And this is where Cog appears. And he goes, Optimus, I can't believe you'd say such things. I'm like, what the
Oh, fuck, I can't believe you've done this.
Okay, so once again, this is like, it's just like the movie. Remember when Hot Rod interfered in that duel? But it's also nothing like that, because this isn't really a duel. This doesn't result in Optimus's death, and Cog doesn't matter, except he does. I'm lightheaded. I'm lightheaded from, like, considering this chain of events. I need to... Why? Okay, let's back it up. Let's slow it down, right? Number one, let's forget about the donkey kick. That will just never make sense. What the fuck was this big speech that Prime gives Megatron?
Listen, this Optimus is incomprehensible. I truly, both Optimus and Megatron, but Optimus more because he's supposed to be the hero.
Yeah,
have extremely opaque and also variable motivations. I do not understand why either of them are doing anything that they do at any given time. And that's because there is no reason given for it.
So, yeah, I will say Optimus says he saw the future, which in the previous episode, Skylynx showed him like a shot of Megatron looking evil. We didn't really see him, like, doing anything in specific. He was just red and mad and nude. Megatron, at least, has been told by a strange purple man who showed up in his spaceship, hey, you should get the Matrix, and so you can save the universe. Like, at least Megatron has some kind of concrete goal here. And Megatron
is presumably doing that because he has nothing better to do at this point.
Yeah, it's like, well... I'll get the Allspark and get the Matrix, and then I guess I win? Does that mean the show's over? Can I go home?
He does want to kill Optimus, very much still. So he's like, yeah, I may as well do this.
Yeah,
this
it's
aligns.
Like it's on the bucket list. The real like weird thing in this whole thing is the whole.
There's
like,
just one.
There are many things, but the really weird one is like, I need you to forgive me.
Yeah.
Why?
It's bizarre.
What? What the fuck are you talking about? Your mentor is a guy who banishes people to the for, like, disagreeing with him. Megatron has been trying to wipe your people out for the past however long.
And, like, this isn't, like, just a side thing later. Like, later on, Megatron is like, unlike you, I don't need forgiveness. Like, it is a thing. You know what I mean?
This is never anything that has ever been a part of the Optimus and Megatron dynamic, especially not when you're like talking about, think about the fucking, like, once again, the movie where it's like, I'm gonna put you down like a dog, you who were without mercy beg for it, I thought you were made of sterner stuff. You think about Armada, where he just like fuck all this, I'm getting rid of the Matrix, I'm challenging you from myself, we're gonna throw down. Like, all of these climactic, like, confrontations. And then this one is like, please forgive me.
I mean, honestly, like, the closest we get to it is the reverse in the comics.
Yeah.
Where Megatron's like, sorry about the genocide. That wasn't...
It's like, I don't know, bud.
Yeah. There's a whole arc about it.
It's never been this. It's never been this side. It's never been like this.
And there's no reason because he's supposed to be the hero. What is? Well, to be fair, he did kill the planet, so he does actually have something to ask for forgiveness for in this one.
So then, Double Dealer shows back up. Don't ask how the fuck he got here. Don't worry about it.
Here. I mean, to be fair, by no means do you have to give it to them, but, like, there is a reason for this.
Wait, when did they explain this?
Well, it's not actually Double Dealer.
Well, yeah, no, but I mean, like, I know it's not Double Dealer. It's not, yeah, he's being, like, mind-controlled Independence Day style. But, like, how did they get here, though? Do the Quintessons know about the dead universe too? How did they open the gate? Because we saw the Nemesis go through the gate and saw it close, and guess what didn't slip in behind them? This fucking ship, which I believe is called like the Fool's Fortune or something. I don't know. Anyway, Double Dealer's here, and it's not Double Dealer, but and Starscream's like, oh my god, thank God, my dude, get us off of this ship and then blow up the Autobots. And Double Dealer / Decius, because surprise, it's actually Decius, everyone's favorite character and impactful character, Decius, says, actually, I'm going to start very, very slowly shooting at the Ark.
Hey, it still fucks them.
And then Cog gets sucked into space after that. That's only like the first 10 minutes of the episode.
I know. It really, like, this week really did feel interminable.
Let's cut back to Cybertron.
Sure, fuck it.
Where even stupider things will occur. So, as we left them, Elita and her gang of dipshits are going to blow up the Kaon Arena. Right?
Rude.
She's the only. Think about who else is on her squad. I guess it's her and Chromia. That's. It's not fair to Chromia. That's true. Everyone else, gang of dipshits. Anyway, they're gonna blow up the arena, and Elita goes in to set the bombs on her own. I guess she just leaves everybody standing around. I don't really know what the she's regardless, it's empty. There's no one there, and once again, Elita's like, wow, I wonder if this is a trap.
You'll never guess.
Guess what? It's a fucking trap. Again, this is okay, to be fair, this time at least it wasn't as obvious of a trap as the Steeljaw thing, where they just all walked into the prison. And also this time they didn't all go into the arena to get trapped.
Baruch Hashem. Small mercies, huh?
But Shockwave can turn invisible now. And I guess he's the main villain of this.
I
Can
guess?
you call it a story arc? I don't even know if you can really call it a story arc.
It feels, here's the thing, it feels, because it's Elita and because it's Shockwave, it actually feels very G1 in a way.
Yeah, like this is the fucking like guerrilla war
and because
fighting for millions of years in the original show.
Exactly. Like on Cybertron after it's been abandoned, right? So it's like I get what they're going for here. However, it is such a more serious tone that they're trying to strike here. I'm like, this doesn't work. Like, it's funny in G1 because Shockwave's an idiot. Like, yeah. Like, that's what makes it funny. If you're not going to have him call her a female, then what's the point?
Female. Also, can I just say, during this entire fight, Shockwave, who of course everyone knows, the famous thing about Shockwave, he has a gun on his arm. He has a gun on his arm. How many times do you think he fires his gun arm this episode? Did you guess anything above 0? Well, you're fucking wrong. He never uses it. I
think it's just allergies, but I am crying.
I'm like, I mean, this version of Shockwave is also just completely sauceless. Like,
yeah, there's like again, there's basically, in my mind, there's sort of like 2 genres of Shockwave at this point, right? There's like the G1 genre, who is like incredibly self-centered but ultimately fairly incompetent, and
the campy Megatron loyalist. Animated Shockwave has like shades of that. Yeah. There's other and then you have like the cold, logical sicko Shockwave.
Yeah, the genuine like sinister threat.
Yeah. Which is
this guy is nothing.
Yeah, he's not either of them.
Like, here's the thing, like, Baver Shockwave is better than this guy. That's crazy.
At least Baver Shockwave is like the Terminator, you know?
At least he looks good. I will say, most of the Baver's designs look like shit. Baver Shockwave can fucking get it any day of the week.
He doesn't look like a...
That is a hot robot.
He doesn't look like a jumble of scrap metal like most other Bavers Decepticons do. He looks like a weird bug robot, but in like a more visually interesting way. This Shockwave, he found a stealth field generator. He gets a buff from the arena, and nothing really happens. He doesn't really do anything. He just beats the shit out of Elita. Okay, also, here's something else. So during this fight, Elita, like, calls Jetfire, and she's like, send the signal to the Guardian robots. And he's like, what the fuck are you talking about? And she goes, forget it. Patch me into Omega Supreme myself. And I was like, oh, did they just off-screen have them come back? Because I wouldn't put that past this show. But it's even...
Yeah, listen, they just needed a nap.
It's even weirder. So, okay. It turns out that this was like a weird lie to throw off Shockwave, but I don't know... it didn't accomplish anything.
Thanks,
there's
it was
a
absolutely
reveal.
useless.
There's a reveal. It's like, haha, I lied. But it's like, okay, but why? Like, what was he going to do that you lying about having Omega Supreme in the back pocket prevented? Because he just beats the shit out of you anyway. It's just an utterly confounding narrative beat that just overcomplicates things for no reason. And then, oh boy. And then, to end this segment, we cut back to outside of the arena after Elita One has and of course at this point, Elita has set us up the bomb, right? It's all of the charges are placed, and they're all on a you can't turn off the timer. It just keeps going. That'll be important for later. So Elita has gotten the shit kicked out of her, and so we cut back out to the other guys who are literally just standing around wondering what they're supposed to do. Red Alert literally asks Jetfire, so what do you think we should do? And Jetfire just kind of shrugs. And then they get held up by floating guns.
Sorry, I had to grab a tissue.
Yeah, because you were so overcome with emotion by this.
No, it's the allergies. As I was saying, it's the allergies.
And once again, this show's supposed to be like a serious thing. It's
it's so grimdark.
But at the same time, they get held up. Like, okay, you can't have the shows like, I'm Megatron, I'm gonna double genocide Cybertron, and all this shit, and then like guns floating around held by invisible dudes. Chromia literally stares at this floating gun with her jaw hanging open for like 2 seconds.
This
and
pissed
then it
me
just
off.
shoots her. It's like, what the fuck is happening?
I literally, my one note for her was like, not like this. It should have been Jetfire.
Yeah, but it turns out she's fine.
She's fine.
Briefly, anyway, until everyone is fine.
She gets a little heartburn when she transforms later on. That's about it.
Oh, and by the way, that...
So, that animation, you like that? You like that? Hey, did you like that? It was like 5 frames over... Hey, you know it's like 24 frames per second, but they put 5 in this one?
They kind of just vibrated her character model, put it horizontal, then a car was there. I was like, what the fuck?
It kind of looked like something out of Sugar Naked Girl.
If you're going to make these models that are so slavishly accurate to the fucking toys, you should at least make them. You should be able to transform
them. You should be able to demonstrate how they turn from robots into cars.
But instead, she just goes, I'm a car now. Anyway, they get held up by invisible guns, but it turns out that it's fucking goddamn Spinister again. Are you kidding me?
Aren't you dead?
I feel like everyone here in this group has died like 4 times. But no. So we cut from that back to the arc. Optimus has literally just been beating the shit out of Megatron for like 5 minutes off screen. And when earlier I said that he just punches him over and over again using the power of gunshot.wav, that is literally
she's not joking.
It literally just sounds like gunshot.wav looped over and over again for these punches. It's so bad. And then after all of that, Megatron goes, time out, don't hit me anymore.
Yeah, Uncle, mercy. And Optimus, this dumb motherfucker.
I truly thought, I was like, please don't fucking say it. Do not quote more movie lines in the most boring way imaginable. But don't worry, they do something stupider. Optimus listens, he stops, and then Megatron grabs a live wire and zaps Optimus in the nipples.
Like, here's the thing. Like, the live wire is sparking by his head. It is, like, the least subtle Chekhov's gun you've ever seen. And he's like, no more, I'm just a little birthday boy, it's my birthday!
And Optimus goes, oh my god, I didn't know it was your birthday. And then Megatron just goes rooting around in there for the Matrix. He's just like, all right, let me crack this bad boy open.
Yeah. He's like, does the full, 10-finger cracks knuckle kind of thing. And goes,
it's like, does it really, all of his fingers, they wiggle around, like, ooh.
Yeah, the little Tom Hank gift, don't mind if I do.
Yeah. And then we get to, okay, so we're on the bridge. This is where, Bumblebee and Starscream are, working together and showing their,
tolerance for each other. Yeah.
And they're actually good, commanders.
Again, this is the thing that's annoying about this Starscream. Is that he's shown to be a competent character. And then they just, whatever.
And Starscream's like, Double Dealer, why did you betray us? He's like, Mother, God damn it.
I can't believe you've done this.
Oh my god, my most trustworthy friend, Betrayer McShithead.
Betrayer McIdes of March.
Fuck, how I didn't see this coming. Actually, for once, it wasn't Double Dealer being his usual self, because as we mentioned earlier,
it's not been Double Dealer. He's a meat puppet.
Why? It's like a big reveal. It's like, oh my god,
yeah,
the Quintessons is using Double Dealer to talk to them. It's like.
Unclear why they can't just speak to them, because they give up the ghost very quickly.
It just shows haha, it's me.
Theseus does not. They are very quick to be like, no, it's me, it's Theseus.
Oh, I'm taking revenge on you.
Did you miss me? Anyway, all hail to Quintessons. I actually decided, fuck my other faces. They were wrong. But rebelling against the Empire was a stupid idea, and all hail the mighty machines.
Yeah. Really confusing, because they talk about, you ruined my chance at redemption. Like, what? I don't... Here's the problem. We still don't know anything about the fucking Quintessons in the show.
Yeah.
Or about Theseus. It's all very vague.
My interpretation of this was that...
They were going to use the Autobots as a bargaining chip to get back in with the court.
No. Actually, the opposite. Was that basically they gave up everything to go against the Empire, and it would have been worth it if their actions had been appreciated and they'd been a savior in the eyes of the Cybertronians. But when they tried to save the Cybertronians, Optimus and Megatron were like, fuck you. Fuck the Quintessons. Yeah. And they were like, no, that was supposed to be the thing that made it worth it. And now I've cut off all my other heads, because they were like, no, we still have to keep trying because it's the right thing to do. Fuck the right thing to do. I want to be famous and a savior. And so it's like, fuck you and fuck your entire race.
Isn't it great when you have to come up with your own headcanon for what a character wants? Just because the show never...
I don't necessarily think of it as a headcanon. It's just my interpretation.
Yeah, but it's
I do think those are different things. But we'll see. We'll see if I am again.
Frankly,
it is very very.
I don't know if Theseus is ever in the show again.
You're joking.
I don't know. They could be.
Yeah. So here's
but also,
we'll find out, or we won't. Yeah. In which case, we'll still find out something, right?
Yeah.
But
it's just really funny to have this, the Quintessons are here. It's and their motives are very murky, and they kind of don't do anything, and get mildly inconvenienced and just kind of leave.
Well, I do think that the general Quintesson Empire has the same motives as in other ones, which is basically colonialism and exploitation.
But you have to. But my point is that you have to use those context clues to fill in the gargantuan, megavoid-sized gaps left by this show.
I mean, listen,
it doesn't have the time.
There's a lot of flaws in this show, but I think you do get enough context clues from Scorponok and the way that Megatron and Optimus talk about the Quintessons to put it together. Like,
Yeah.
I do think you can expect the audience to add 2 and 2 and get 4.
Oh, sure. It's just boring. It's just like it's. Just
I'm not
shit.
saying it's good. I'm just saying that I actually think there is enough like context provided in this particular case to, again, what Decius's motives are much murkier. But I think about the larger Quintesson empire is pretty clear.
Yeah, like evil imperialists. That's always the case.
Yeah.
Unclear where they are or what happened to them, but I guess they're around. Because Decius
apparently Decius happened to them. Apparently Decius single-handedly or multifacetedly, you see what I did there? Took the Empire down a little bit at least.
And unfortunately, this is a really sad moment because we have to say goodbye to 2 of the best characters in the show, White Bumblebee and chain-smoking Wheeljack. Because they're both doing repairs on the ship and then get killed by Cog.
It's okay. Cog also dies very quickly after this.
Cog is like Solid Snake at the end of this episode, and I don't understand why. But he busts in, he like holds Decius at gunpoint because Decius is like blowing up the ship because they're mad that like everyone else is gone. The Coneheads are nowhere to be seen. Nobody knows where they went. And he's like, fuck you, put it down. And Cog shoots Decius and one of Decius' tentacles off. And then Decius just stabs him and leaves.
Again, I will say, that was about as noble a death as Cog deserved.
But he doesn't even die yet. He just slumps down on the chair. And I thought this scene was like, oh my god, Decius is like controlling him. Using him to like lure people onto the ship because he's going like, this is Cog, I have control of the mercenary ship.
I think he just died slowly
firing.
is the point.
Then, oh, by the way, he isn't dead. I do know that because I looked at his wiki page. He shows up in Kingdom. I don't understand.
Maybe it's just like
don't
a ghost. Maybe it's like a flashback.
It's his ghost.
Yeah,
he's a Force ghost.
Yeah,
Optimus, yeah. I'm your newest spiritual guide. It's me, Cog. It's like the episode where Rodimus goes into the Matrix to like gain the wisdom of the past and Season 3. But he just sees Cog. I am Cog. I am the wisest of them all.
Hey, you want to come back to Cybertron real quick?
Before that, I have to mention another example of the Nemesis' powerful outlier ability, which is that Wheeljack is there. He's there and he has control of the guns and he starts shooting the mercenary ship.
Well, thank God for that.
Astrotrain has been here this whole time, by the way. It cuts over to everyone being held at gunpoint, and Astrotrain is just there, but he's normal size now. He's not big like he was in the first season. It's like, hey, wait. Wait, he's been here the whole time?
He's the Sam Reich of...
Yeah, what's happening on Cybertron?
I'll tell you what's happening. None of these motherfuckers can remember they can fly.
No one remembers they can transform. Okay, so first of all, Elita
except for
wakes
Crimea,
up.
who has to like vibrate herself into the side. No one can remember that they have alt modes.
So first of all, we get Elita waking up on like tied to an operating table, and Shockwave looks like he's about ready to do some sicko shit. It's like, oh, finally, this is the Shockwave I know.
Yeah.
And he gets interrupted by Spinister telling him that they've captured all the other Autobots. I do really like the like very irritated like fist clenching, and then he just slams this weird scalpel into the table at Chromia's head, like to the side of it, and he storms off. Yes. Then we cut outside, and Scrapface is going like, Spinister, you have to trust me, man. We got to get out of here. This place is about to blow. And Spinister goes, yeah, whatever, man. It's like, no, we have timed charges. They're gonna tighten on their own. And Spinister goes,
counting down right now.
Whatever, bro. That don't sound real to me. Which, to be fair, that is in character for Spinister. He is the dumbest man alive.
It's true.
He would not believe in time bombs. He was like, that shit's not real. Time is an illusion, and therefore you can't have a timed charge.
An illusion, Michael.
So they're just like walking around. And then Chromia pops back up as Elita is like using this weird scalpel to pick the lock. And
and she's doing the Sherlock drunk charger thing.
Yeah, and Chromia shoots down all of the Decepticons. And there's a really funny moment where she zooms in on Flywheel, so goes, "Wait, I helped you," and then she just shoots him in the head anyway.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Like, fuck you, buddy. And then,
so the bombs go off.
I cannot fucking believe this. Okay.
If Elita is dead, I'm done.
To be fair,
I'm sure
they
she's
didn't
not.
actually dedicate that much time to this stupid storyline in this season. But if the end of this story arc is rocks fall, everyone dies functionally, like, what a profoundly stupid waste of time.
So,
and
like,
not even in the like way that's like, the war, death is meaningless. Like, no, that's not what you're doing. You have created an extremely contrived way for all of these characters to get blown up.
I will be extremely upset if Elita is dead because she's one of the only characters I can actually tolerate in this show.
Mm-hmm.
But I would at least give that to them because she's strapped to a table.
It would honestly be crazier if she wasn't dead.
Yeah.
It would be more outrageous if none of these characters weren't dead.
Which I'm sure is the case. Which will make me very pissed off. But, like, I would give that to them.
We literally see Chromia get consumed by the conflagration.
But, like, so they're all running away. The ground is cracking beneath them. And Jetfire, you are a shuttle, my man. Like, not only can you fly, you are equipped, and in other series in this franchise have been used as a transportation vehicle for other people. You could have transformed, put everyone inside you, and just flown away. That was an option this whole time. You motherfucker, I cannot stand you.
Nobody transforms in this show. I'm thinking about it like, it so rarely happens, which is like...
They took the trans out of Transformers. It's the fucking cisformers. What the fuck?
Fuck. Anyway, we cut back to the fucking
cisformers, exactly what it says on the tin.
So, the Decepticons have just vanished. They're back on the Nemesis, I guess, and everyone else who was on the Nemesis is back on the Ark because of the Nemesis's very powerful abilities. And Optimus is like, no, Megatron, give it back. And Megatron's like, fuck you, Optimus. Or should I say, Orion, haha. Because you ain't a Prime no more, son. I took it. I have the coconut now. And then Bumblebee shoots at him.
Hey, you want to know who makes Megatron run like a little bitch after all of this? It's fucking Bumblebee.
He doesn't even look like he is particularly damaged. It literally looks like he's being stung by a bee. He doesn't react like he's being shot. I don't understand why Megatron doesn't just like reach over, grab Bumblebee's head and squeeze him like a fucking walnut.
Yeah, like a grape. I don't get it. He like gets scared and runs away before killing either of these assholes. And it's like, what? Bumblebee?
Well, he's the coolest. He's the coolest guy. He's so smart. He's the enlightened centrist.
That's right.
Libertarianism
wins again, folks.
And then everyone's like, "Oh my god, the mercenary ship is about to explode. We have to get away." And then nobody gets away from it. And then the ship explodes, presumably killing Cog. Except I know that that's not true somehow, or maybe it is. Who knows?
Force Ghost. I will actually forgive a lot if he's dead and like a Force Ghost.
What happens if he's? What will you do if he is alive?
Oh, I mean, I will just be as impressed with this show as I ever am.
Yeah. You've seen this. The Ark crashes into a mountain. Oh fuck. But wait a minute. Hold on. We've got one more trick for you here. You see, we cut down to the surface of the Earth, and we see a Velociraptor looking at the Ark. But then, oh shit, it's a robot Velociraptor because it's Dinobot, because Kingdom has all the fucking Beast Wars characters in it. So if you weren't already tired of all of these beloved characters being turned into the worst fucking most boring guys ever. Well, guess what? We have a whole new roster of beloved characters to destroy. Aren't you
Just
excited?
for you, folks. Just for you.
Isn't everyone excited? I bet they will turn Beast Wars Megatron into the most boring guy in the world.
Everybody do the weenus.
Everybody do the weenus. The weenus is a dance.
Everybody is a genius.
Holy shit! That was like impressive. Like, you know,
so
Siege wasn't good, right?
I got a package in the mail the other day.
Yeah.
And it's one of the few packages I've received in recent memory that came with packing peanuts. And I've just been crushing them in my hand the entire time we've been talking about this because it's been... Woof!
Just imagining it's FJ DeSanto's head over and over again. That's the showrunner, by the way.
Yeah, I figured as much. I don't want any names attached to this. I don't trust myself with them.
Siege was bad, right? It was not good. But... it was at least, like...
coherent.
Its main crime was that it was really boring and kind of stupid. This is, like, a complete, unmitigated disaster.
Yeah, hey, here's our challenge for our listeners. Give me a 3-sentence summary for each of these episodes. I'd love to see what you come up with.
The opening for this show shows like the Nemesis and the Ark chasing each other through space, and
that didn't happen.
No, it sure didn't. The Quintessons barely mattered. Skylynx and Scorponok randomly showed up. Earth did indeed rise, I guess, technically.
I mean, it kind of just like shuffled to the side rather than rise, but sure.
It's like, I don't understand what the goal
What's the
of
last
this
one?
season
Kingdom?
was. Kingdom.
Christ alive.
No idea why it's called that. But I mean, like,
maybe Animal Kingdom. I mean, that's the only thing I can think of.
The Kingdom of Beasts. Fuck. Anyway, I don't understand what this show's like goals were as like a story. I don't really know. I understood what Siege's goals were. It was poorly executed, but I understood what they were trying to do with it. I really don't like get it.
I think I do understand what the goal is, but I think it is. I think it's basically incomprehensible without Kingdom, because I think the goal is simply to bridge 2 series.
Oh God, you never want to be in that position. You never want to have a bridge story, because they're never good. They're always unsatisfying until you have the third part. It's like never do it.
But I think that is the reason why it is so much markedly worse than Siege was.
Yeah. Maybe Kingdom will be good.
I'm not holding my breath. But I do think, listen, none of this has been good so far, but as Mara mentioned, this was notably worse than Siege was. And I think the reason for that is because it exists solely as a means to an end. It is not a story in its own right. It is a way to get from point A to point B.
You have to forgive me. Please.
I think that's, like, I think in particular, that's why the Nemesis has its outlier ability, right? Because it's like it doesn't need to have a plot. It needs to be a way to get from point A to point B. And maybe point B will have a plot, God willing, it will. But it was not necessary for the thing that connected it together.
They really have too much. They simultaneously have too much story for 6 episodes and not enough story for 6 episodes, and I don't really understand how that happened. But we have some questions to answer about this.
We do.
Mind-destroying mess. This fucking info hazard of a television show.
This enriching experience, I think you mean?
Yeah, this beautiful work of passion.
Yeah. Yeah, this labor of love.
Yeah, that's what I would describe it as, a labor of love. It's a labor of contractual obligation.
Our first question from Starscream 10,000 Years Edge comes from...
Wow.
is as they say / paraphrase, one will rise, one will fall. So host, what the hell would Earthfall be? This.
Pretty sure that yeah, they didn't really rise. They fell onto Earth.
Yeah.
I think Earthfall isn't that just Melancholia?
No, I mean that would be if the opposite of Melancholia.
Honestly, it would be the idea of like Earth is going to hit something,
Yeah.
like something has just appeared in the way, would be a really funny disaster movie.
It's been a long time since I've watched Melancholia. I only watched it for a college course actually, called Ecstasy and Apocalypse.
That makes sense. I think if
interesting movie
appeared, I think if something appeared in Earth, or we're gonna crash into it, they would mostly it wouldn't be like grappling with grief like Melancholia is. I think everyone would just be really confused about what is even happening.
Yeah.
And then the Earth would hit something and it would blow up. Anyway, that's what Earthfall is.
From Dead Names Stealing Faye, I'm gonna skip the first one because it's referencing a visual that
it's referencing the stink chamber that Skylynx puts Optimus in.
Yeah. So, do you wish that this Optimus would just randomly punch people for making logical statements?
I mean, it would be something. That would be something at least.
No, I want him to keep apologizing for nothing. That's what I want.
Yeah, he just becomes like overly apologetic.
The thing that really kills me about this Optimus is that he has a shit ton to apologize for, and it's not the things that he's asking forgiveness for.
No, he's not.
Like, if he had said, like, I need you to forgive me for killing Cybertron, I would have been like, that's actually kind of interesting.
Forgive me for killing you. Like, well, no, I won't. Why would I do that?
Yeah, like, if his thing had been, like, I was so caught up in our conflict, I thought I was doing the right thing, but I need you to forgive me, to absolve me for making a wrong decision, even though my intentions were good, that would have been kind of interesting.
Yeah.
But that's not what he's asking forgiveness for. Anyway, how would it affect each series if you swapped War for Cybertron Megatron and Armada Megatron?
Okay, so if Armada Megatron got swapped into this series, he would at first be very excited for the chance to like match wits with another version of Optimus Prime. But once he realizes how fucking worthless this version of Optimus is,
he's not matching wits with shit.
I think he would just like kill him and then try his hardest to get back to his world. He's like, I don't care about this. This world sucks. It's dark and grimy and no one here has any fun.
I genuinely think the Decepticons in Armada would rise up against War for Cybertron, Megatron. Like, Starscream would be like, you're useless. Fuck this.
Yeah. And Thrust would just be able to fucking manipulate circles around that guy. Because he'd just be checked out.
Yeah.
He'd be like, Lord Megatron, you've completed the Hydra Cannon. He'd just be like,
I genuinely think Starscream would end up leading to Decepticons in Armada.
He's like, okay, this guy has got, like, depression or something. I feel like I need to just step in so we can accomplish something here.
Yeah, 100%. Geist asks, who's the worst Optimus? This one for just being crap all around, or Bayverse for being a brutal lunatic that barely qualifies as an Optimus?
This one. And I'll tell you why I feel that way. Bayverse Optimus is a bloodthirsty nightmare man. But there's still more of Optimus in that guy somewhere than there is in this version. And also, at least that Optimus at least like does stuff. Yes, what he does is mostly decapitation related murder, but that's more fun to watch.
Small detail.
Than Optimus moping around and being rude to his wife until she's gone. And he goes, oh, she was right. I fucked up so bad, but I'm not going to tell her that. Oh, Skylynx, can you help me?
So I find both of these Optimi to be pretty equally detestable, I'm not going to lie, from a character standpoint. However, Bayverse has one thing going for it, and that's being voiced by Peter Cullen.
That's also there. The voice is there. And once again, all of the insanely violent things he does are funny.
I mean, I don't necessarily agree with you on that. But
you don't think "Give Me Your Face" is funny?
I'm not necessarily on the same level as you on that, but I can at least listen to that Optimus. When this Optimus goes into the bale, it's like truly agonizing.
It's like sounds like a dog.
Geist asks, oh, sorry, no. Me, Gwynwalk, love you asks, if outlier abilities got swapped around, what would be the most chaotic combination?
That's how you know the show's bad. Because we're just asking about IDW. Which, I mean, to be fair, this show very poorly cribs from IDW all the time, so...
Actually, I might skip this one, since it's not related to the show.
Yeah, it's also, there's just too many.
Yeah.
And I don't remember enough about, like, all of them.
Yeah.
I think they should... Actually, I have the answer to this. Just give Tarn's deathly voice to Swerve.
Give it to Starscream.
No, Swerve just talks to people until they shoot themselves in the head. There's no, like...
Swerve discovers the brown note.
Did you know that I can hit the exact musical note to make the Cybertronian body eject all of its energon in one solid brick? Watch this.
Decepticon Ruby asks, is this the game they put in the Mountain Dew?
Yeah. He brings it.
Sure, fuck it, why not, right?
Says Optimus, welcome to the Duniverse. I have been here for 3,000 years, doing nothing but slamming Baja Blast. And I have become enlightened as a result. I am 100% made of kidney stones.
Christ. Vera asks, is it the green that turns you into a Willem Dafoe Green Goblin?
No, it's the green that makes you, like, enlightened. It's the green that turns you into a wise sage, as is the case with Skylynx. Still, I know we talked a bunch about it. Just a crazy way to use Skylynx.
Heybine asks, how do you feel about the one character you like getting totally exploded? Will it help spur character development in her boyfriend?
That's right! Who cares about Elita? She needs to be fridged so Optimus has something else to feel bad about. So he can mope around more and tell Bumblebee. It is going to be
genuinely so upsetting to me if she's dead.
And he can go, oh, Bumblebee, my wife is dead.
My wife left me, Tails.
Excuse me, it's, oh, Optimus Primal, my wife is dead, and Primal go, I don't know who you are, or who that is. Can you leave my planet? I would like to go back to doing gorilla things.
Now that Megatron has the Matrix of leadership, which of this Optimus Prime's greatest leadership skills will he inherit?
Well, he will unite his
really
own
good,
like endless ennui with Optimus Prime's complete inability for self-reflection and become the most annoying guy in the universe.
Mansplaining.
He's gonna mansplain to Starscream.
No, to Elita's corpse when he finds it.
Yeah, he's gonna put her head next to Magnus's.
He's gonna... Elita, if you'd only believed in me, this wouldn't have happened. You'd still be alive. I know that to be true. All I needed was your love, and that would have stopped me from fucking the planet. Megatron's rancid breath, Sabrina, asks, a little late, but Ripticog siblings Pulley and Sprocket, if you could name a new Transformer with a one-word name, what ideas do you have?
Okay, I actually have one. I've been thinking about this for a while, actually.
Okay.
I've been thinking about, like, making a new OC.
Uh-huh.
You know, I have that commission that someone gave us.
Yeah.
With our Sonas, but I was like, I want to make a new one. And I had the thought of, like, there's basically no submarine Transformers. Like,
okay, yeah.
So I was like, what if it's a Soviet submarine Transformer and her name is Crush Depth?
That's really good. It's not really one word, though.
You can make it one word.
Yeah, but I don't think that's the spirit of the question.
No, I just wanted to talk about Crush Depth.
She sounds cool.
I'll get a commission at some point. I think there's lots of cool words you could name guys. You can even make up words because most of these guys are made up words. I would like to name a Transformer.
I would go with, like, Voltage.
Let's name a guy Popper. Why not?
The gauge bottom Transformer.
Yeah,
Popper.
he's Beachcomber's slutty gay cousin. He turns into something, I don't know.
Why did they call you that? Would you like to find out? How do you feel about recreational drugs?
Are you open? Are you free tonight? I can show you.
Oh my god. Or another one that's like I've always been thought about was like Hazard.
Hazard's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hazard or like
I want to do like
so many...
a Constructicon named Hazard.
Yeah, like a Secret 7 Constructicon.
Yeah. I will not go into a long diatribe about how much I want to kill this Optimus with my bare hands for demanding forgiveness from Megatron, but has there ever been a piece of media about characters and settings you like that is so off base and wrong that it made you mad? If so, what?
Yes, it is called the War for Cybertron trilogy on Netflix. You can watch it right now. Okay, other than this one, oh, I know what this isn't really like off base necessarily. But one of the things that in the past years of like a franchise that I've enjoyed that has enraged me the most was actually the second legendary Godzilla movie, Godzilla King of the Monsters, which didn't really have anything to do with like the monster stuff in it. All of the monster stuff in that movie is perfectly fine. The script for that movie is a fucking biohazard. It is an absolute fucking trash fire. And it's like legitimately one of the worst like human stories I've ever seen in a kaiju movie. It's utterly I hate that movie so much.
Oh, actually, speaking of biohazard, I'll put in for Resident Evil 5.
Ooh! Yeah. Chris, we have to go to Racism Island. We have to stop
the guerrilla faction on Racism Island.
And Wesker's like, Chris, this is my white woman.
Okay. Yeah, oh my god, I forgot about that. Yeah. It's oh god.
Bad game. Very
bad. It's a
game.
Really bad game. And especially like as a follow-up after 4, which is like an incredibly fun game. It's like
one of
it's
the
like
great blunders of all time.
It's not fun. It's immensely racist. And it's like, who is Chris Redfield? Who is this man?
Oh, he's very large. He's very muscular, and he loves to kill zombies.
And he loves to punch boulders.
That's right. That's fucking right.
Okay. Yeah, so, Aurora...
pretty bad, yeah.
Yeah, good choice for me, I think. Aurora for Cybertron asks, I'm not dignifying this 6-episode season of the show with a full award show, so, what dead character this season would you memorialize for sucking and doing a bad job? I don't know that we're actually going to do this right now, because we are counting all 3 of these as a full season. So we'll
get to
see you in 3 episodes, or 4 episodes, Aurora.
The answer to this and your question to the follow-up this that is about Siege, the answer to both of these are the same, and I'm glad that our server agrees, because they reacted spelling out the name of the guy who I would give it to, Skywarp, who not only died for real, but also every Seeker looks like him, and therefore Skywarp has died up to like 24 times.
They keep killing Skywarp.
There's more Skywarps. Where do all these Skywarps keep coming from and blowing up? They find more of them. They dig in a hole, and there's more Skywarps. You shove your hand in the soil of Cybertron, and you just find so many Skywarps begging to be born and then killed.
Do you know how like you will get like occasional echolalias that are just things that you and only you can't stop thinking about for years and years and years.
Oh yeah.
So for me, one of them is the episode title of a Torchwood episode, which is They Keep Killing Susie. And so every time I see a character die more than once, all I can think of They Keep Killing Susie. They keep killing Skywarp. Sabrina asks, is a rage plague just Megatron's rancid breath in the series? God,
it is. I once again, I really thought it's like, we're doing the hate plague. That could be interesting. No,
that you really thought.
No, It's just some big stupid psychic laser. It's just Megatron being like, "Ooh, I hate Optimus Prime," and he just thought about that really hard. It's the fucking picture of the guy levitating the pizza, but it's just like a big laser.
Worst for Cybertron, Chet asks, how does this Megatron sword compare to Megatron's iconic sword from Energon?
Yeah,
I forgot he had it.
So that comes from, I believe the original Megatron toy had a sword, which is like a follow up from the like a holdover from the Diaclone toy line. He never used it in anything, but he has it here because it's a cool deep cut reference, and he does use it to murder Elita One in Optimus's vision, which I thought was very funny.
Yeah. Guys ask, why do all these guns click like regular guns?
Because that's what was in the free sound effect library.
A very limited Foley portfolio.
By the way, this version of the fusion cannon has such a dinky fucking noise. I hate it. It's got like a cool visual effect, but the noise it makes, like, you know, I love the thwomp noise from G1 so much. That's like sound effects of all time to me. This one just kind of sounds like a stapler.
Chet asks, Cog check, how's Cog doing so far? I wish he were dead. Apparently he's not, but maybe praying for his death.
He's Schrodinger's Cog right now.
Yeah. Praying for Force Ghost, the Cog in the third part. For a show with a particular tie-in toy line that focused on cleaning up the characters and giving them non-battle damage Earth vehicle mode forms, don't you just love the season titled Earthrise, where they don't even arrive on Earth until the end of it, and they still don't have non-battle damage character models?
I totally forgot about that! Yeah, so the whole point of this toy line, because everyone was like, the main criticism of the Siege toy line was everyone was like, well, I like these figures, but I wish they weren't all dirty. I kind of want non-battle damage versions. And so they were okay, well, we'll give you non-battle damage versions. Everyone turns into their Earth versions now. Which is also why Galvatron is so smooth. But then it's like, once again, similar to Energon, just bafflingly bad at being a toy commercial.
Yeah.
Always funny when that happens.
Finally, from...
I think before we go on, I think they should, when they get to prehistoric Earth, they should scan their Earth alt modes and find there's like a Ferrari sitting in the jungle for no reason. So Sideswipe can be a Ferrari again. That's all.
Okay.
You sound so patient.
Finally from Sabrina, congratulations, our hosts have made it through 2/3 of the way through the War for Cybertron. How does Dinobot look?
I mean, okay, I guess it's an upgrade. It's not as much of an upgrade from his Beast Wars model as I would think, actually. It's just a higher res, but he just kind of looks the same.
Oh, but wait till you see him transform.
Oh, God.
Is Skylynx a fearsome beast or just Buppy? Neither. He sucks.
Skylynx is that dude on like the college campus who never wears a shirt. He's always flexing. He's talking about like, yeah, man, I could totally bench press like 40, but I just, I don't want to get too tired. I want to keep up my cardio. I could totally drink like 4 beers in a row, but I believe in like temperance. Anyway, you want to like come to my place? That's Skylynx. He thinks he's a fearsome beast, but he is a Buppy. Is the thing about it.
I don't think he's either. Personally,
actually, he's not. That's true. He's actually a kitty cat because his legs are like a weird lion.
Yeah, he's a lynx. It's the lynx part of Skylynx.
That's right. We have Sky and Lynx, and they come together to form a dragon with a gigantic ego.
Yeah, did you know that dragons were actually lynxes the entire time?
Wow, I'm learning so much.
Oh. Well, folks, we've been Prime Cuts. You can find us on noisepace.xyz. You can also find us on Blue Sky at Prime Cuts Pod. I'm Audrey. You can find me on Tumblr and Blue Sky at Optimum Prime, which is my funny robot internet joke. You can listen to the other podcast I do called Pod of Greed, which is about Yu-Gi-Oh! And you can stay updated for updates about the disappearances of Lydia Fontaine, which is an audio drama I'm in and is in full production mode right now. And sometimes I do drag, and if you've any interest in that, you can find that at Maxwell Warp on Instagram.
And Mara, I'm just trying to live my life, and this series is attacking me.
We came out to have fun, and we're honestly feeling so attacked right now.
You can find me on Twitter at Dragon Smoocher. You can find me on Blue Sky at Mara Wyvern, Bisky.social. All my other stuff is on hiatus right now. We're still working on clearing up the Podcast to Power archive. And I just want to say I hate this show so much. I just want to remind everyone of that.
Oh,
anyway,
really? I'd forgotten. I'd forgotten over the last 90 minutes.
I'm going to piss off Alpha Trion on purpose so I can get put in the Dead Universe and get some peace and fucking quiet. Transform and roll out.
I did think you were going to say piss on the moon. Transform and roll out when you started with piss. But I'm going to get a meat puppet to do my sign off for me. Transform and roll out.
I miss my wife, Tails.
Peach.
Peach.